Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Hardcore Heroes. How are you guys doing after our long break away?
Oh man, Neil, let me tell you.
What are you going to tell us, Van Helsing?
So yesterday, I've discovered. No, I can't do this. But what I can do is say that I'm glad Malachi is back because I didn't want to waste my cleric scented essential oil that
Oh
for
my
today.
god.
Awesome.
Oh man.
You're not going to tell the story again? I'm sure there's
Well,
like one person in chat that didn't hear it.
Yeah,
All
man,
right,
there's new
person in
people
chat.
here.
Somebody from the floor above us set up like a fake baby ritual murder where they used a doll and dismembered it and put fake blood everywhere, and then the people on my floor smeared shit on each other's faces and licked it off. You are caught up. This is the world that I live in.
Jesus.
Croak, how's it going?
It's going really well. As the many of you in chat know, I'm done with tax season, and so that has been great. I've been chilling, taking some time off. It's been really rainy here. Or I would have been to like the beach or something, but I went and watched some movies and just relaxed. It's been really good to not work.
Very nice. How about you, Nick?
Nice. I'm pretty good. Right for the people watching at home. I'm in Scotland, in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere, on a really really shitty internet connection, on somebody else's laptop with like phone headphones. So my usual setup isn't as good, but aside from that, I've been pretty good. It's pretty nice here actually. If I could show you the house, it would it's
Nice.
good.
Well,
Yep.
does someone want to give us a recap of the previous events, which are quite a while ago now?
Oh god, I don't even remember.
You don't remember?
You don't remember the rat?
Something to do with a wearer.
Oh yeah, the were rat, and then Malachi went off and did Malachi things.
Well, there you go. Mark down 100 experience.
So I'll try my hand at this for once. Party. So we are waiting in Redport for some number of weeks as Croak purchased an expensive set of bronze plate mail for Van Helsing. And while we're here, we figured we should do some work, help pay for all our expenses. And we heard, was it the town crier?
Mm-hmm.
Was offering a bunch of jobs for groups of adventurers, and we took one to deal with a number of giant rats that had invested the aptly named town of Ratburg. We traveled out after I bought some silver arrows, and I think, just silver arrows, just in case it was a were-rat. We traveled out, we killed off something like 30 rats using conventional means in this town, like we just set up a bunch of food and poisoned it. Slaughtered a few with, I think, a gas spell. But after killing
Stinking cloud.
rats, the party was betrayed by one of the members in town named Erin, who locked us in her house and transformed into a were-rat. Big surprise.
It was a big surprise. Everyone was shocked.
So two party members almost died. I believe Croak went down to 1 HP, and
Yeah, it was brutal.
Malachi went down to 2 HP.
I was down
and
to
then-
one as well.
Oh, you went down to 1.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
Malachi managed to dodge 2 attacks with his 10 AC, narrowly surviving the encounter. Van Helsing did a shit job in the fight, but at least had the silver arrows and scared the were-rat off with those.
Good.
And
good.
following that, the party locked everyone up in the temple. Next day, went out to go hunting for the were-rat after they'd recovered a bit from the battle before, but the rat seemed to have moved on, run away from town, found a new pasture to go and terrorize.
What
Party
did
went
you
back-
guys recommend they rename the town to?
Oh, God.
All kinds of
Rathburg?
things.
Oh, I think, all kinds of things. And then we went back to Rathburg in the end.
Rathburg.
Oh, no. Van Helsing somebody's suggestion was Catburg.
Hmm.
But then you're going to get a work hat, which is even worse.
Ugh.
That's true. It's, trading one problem for another. The party goes back to town. Malachi goes off to take up a life of thievery and become more like Croak, and uses Detect Magic to find a shop that has magical items inside. He walks in and casts Hypnotize on the shopkeeper to get him to trade a Candle of Everburning for a random pendant that he claimed was magical.
Lies.
Yep.
It was the way I did it though, with the swinging.
He cast the Hypnotize.
You really hold on Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm a legendary
Yeah.
storyteller. Thanks for listening.
All right. Well, let's hop into game then. You guys are in Redport. You've been here for a little while now, not super long. Nick, you are still some days away from learning your next spell, if you do learn it.
Which one am I trying to learn?
Flaming Sphere.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
We could set everything on fire.
Please
Yes.
learn that. Just burn down all of the forests.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Nowhere for a rat
Burn in the
person to hide
fires of
anymore.
industry.
So,
Yes. So I'm probably spending most of my time studying them. I am waiting for. Is his name not Silfrey? The other wizard in Redport. Sithladin. I'm waiting for him to hear back from Rohanna as to whether he'll let me work at his shop for a little bit.
right.
Yes.
But that's going to take a few days. Remember, he's got to send information out and
I
come
think he said
back.
back a week.
He said a week, and it's probably been like what, three days or something like that.
Yeah. All right, I will make you told him where you were living, right? So he'll contact you when he hears about things.
I think he said come back in a week, but that could
Okay.
work as well.
Somehow didn't make a mark of this.
That's all right, Neil.
Sithladin.
Sithladin, yeah.
Okay.
It's not like you do this professionally or anything.
If he asks you to call himself Darth Sithladin, like, run away.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yes, Sithladin, the elven sorcerer.
Hmm.
Right. So, what are you guys doing? You're hanging out in Redport.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I'd
actually
like
know what
to,
he's doing.
I guess, grab time when the three of us are kind of together, and just kind of have a little chat with our companions. I guess I sit us down in like the common room of the tavern while we're eating like breakfast or something. I say, well, I've been doing some thinking here over the last couple of days, and it gets to me that we were here to look into this poisoning of Jarrett, and we did a good job. Found ourselves a rather interesting creature, Siren, and I have no doubt in my mind she enchanted him. But it occurred to me that she seemed rather attached to your father there, Mr. Malachi, and as much as I am sure that he was enchanted, it doesn't make sense to me that she would have afflicted him so and sent him on his way. And if she was so enraged at him and cursed him on the way out of town, it seems unlikely, at least to me, that she would have accepted him back in back in her arms so quickly upon return. And so that leaves us, or at least leaves me in my wandering mind, with a bit of a conundrum, because our only other lead is a Mr. Boring. And Van, we spoke with about Boring before. You have no desire to meet him, and I understand that. Perhaps it would be good that you stay out of the meeting with him. But Mr. Malachi, perhaps you and I could have a talk with him. I think that perhaps I could earn some level of trust with him, and we could find out more about this Mr. Boring.
Well,
I think it's a bad idea.
I mean, you can do what you want in the end, but we should be careful while we're here. We do have to wait for the armor to be finished before we can. It might be smarter to wait until we can safely leave town, without ruining any investments.
Oh well, I don't want to ruin any investments. My theory here is to kind of make some friends with him, at least at first. He's not gonna tell us anything untoward unless we get his confidence. So I don't believe that this meeting would be anything that would irritate him or cause us undue harm in terms of staying and getting that fancy little armor for you. But it does make sense to be careful. Perhaps Mr. Malachi could just come along, and I know you have the ability to see magic. Perhaps let us know if you find some means by which he could have hurt your father while we're talking.
I think if I, as you say, attempt to see magic whilst we're discussing with him, he might notice. I don't know if you've seen me do it before, but it's quite obvious.
Well, I did not realize that it was so obvious. Is it something that
I'm
you?
right, Neil.
Hmm?
Sorry, Greg, go on.
Is it something that you could?
You're right.
Perhaps...
Like when you cast detect.
There's a delay here going on. Greg, go ahead.
Yeah.
Is it something perhaps that you could hide behind, like some sunglasses? I could purchase that for you.
Yes, I think that might work actually.
Sorry, sunglass. What are these sunglasses?
Well, you see, the rich and the fanciful folk, they go to this man named Oakley, and he creates these bifocal lenses that don't enhance your sight at all. In fact, they make you look like a pompous, arrogant noble, but I've seen many an Oakley wearer around this here town, so I figure that perhaps for a gold piece or two, we might be able to get a reflective dark surface in front of Mr. Malachi's eyes. Perhaps hide that spell from him.
We could try. I don't necessarily see how much I would learn with detect magic in this meeting anyway. I think maybe perhaps we should go and speak to the guy first and then see what he has to say for himself. And if we want to look into it more, then maybe we can come up with another excuse to return.
Detect magic can detect items through walls. If you would like to go in and meet with the man, I could always stay outside and cast detect magic myself. Look on through the indoor. Look through the wall. See if I can spot anything. Try to mark down a location and see if you can try to match the item with what I'm seeing from the outdoors.
I could perhaps do this. I have a quite outstanding memory for locations and things. I could make a mental map of the room and kind of figure out where, cross-reference your magic to what I see. That could potentially work. Yes. Are you familiar with the arcane magics? I know that you're come from a bit different place.
My ability to detect magic is granted to me from the gods. No arcane sorcery is required.
Huh?
No skill required.
Excellent. Well, this seems like a good idea to me. I do think I could make that work. Malachi, you seem to be rather against this idea altogether. Would you rather not accompany me, I guess?
Well, I don't mind getting to see him. I don't believe he's responsible for what happened to my father, but he probably knows more than anyone else what did happen, so it seems like a reasonable place to start. Plus, I think he does have a number of magical items in there.
Neil, out of game really fast. I already went to the blacksmith to get my measurements done, right?
No, but you have many, many months of waiting.
I think it was something like 16 weeks or 12 weeks.
Yeah. You are currently on the 16th of February. Your plate mail will be done on the 31st of May. So you need to be present for 2 weeks during this process for measurements, but you've got like 3.5 months to do it in.
Okay, I think I'll go and get it done early since they're going to be meeting with Bourne and everything. Van doesn't really have much to do.
Okay.
I think the only other thing he really does is in the mornings he goes down to the docks to just kind of keep an eye on the ships coming in.
Sure.
Mr. Van, I also have a request of you, seeing as, well, I don't have much way with letters and words, and you also have some clout that goes with you. I've kept my ear to the ground around here following our unfortunate run-ins with the halfling feet people, and we know that there was that third party involved. I seem to have gotten a bit of knowledge that perhaps a noble around nearby, a Mr. Christie in Hillsborough, and I don't believe that he's necessarily the one we're after, but I think if I could get an audience with him, perhaps we could learn a bit more information. Could you write Mr. Christie and secure myself an audience with him?
Sorry, this is the halfling sweet dealer.
Huh?
This is the halfling sweet dealer?
Well, yeah, he's the halfling speed dealer, but
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you said that or not.
well, I did not. I think he's involved with it, or it might have more information, but I don't believe, based on my sources, that he's the same one. I think that I just want to talk with him and learn some more about it, learn what he may know.
What would you want me to write? As a cleric, I can't engage in these kinds of activities. Even in a ruse, I can't knowingly do business with a traitor, somebody involved in such a disgusting business.
Perhaps all that need be is that you ask for an audience between him and a representative, Mr. Croak, and I'll just have a talk with him. You don't have to do any dealings with him at all.
I doubt this man is religious. I don't think he'd take the word of a cleric very highly. However, I can write a letter for you in your name.
I would appreciate that if you could do such a thing.
Very well.
Alrighty. Malachi, would you interested in accompanying me to Mr. Bourne's shop, or shall I go alone?
Well, I'd be interested to see what he's got in there, but I do think this meeting might look less suspicious if it's just yourself. If we go in too strong, me quite clearly, spellcaster, then we may set off his suspicions.
Perhaps you just not reveal your identity, Malachi. Go in normal clothing.
I'm just not sure what I add to the situation. Croak, if you think you need me there, then I'm happy to go with you.
Why don't you walk with me and we'll discuss it, and if you don't want to do it, then we'll leave you at the door. You can do something akin to what Mr. Van asked for if you'd like, and just kind of detect some magic and tell me where it is.
I'll walk with you, yeah.
All right. So with that, we take off. If I get a little bit of distance out where it's just me and Malachi walking on the street, and be like, all right, so here's the thing. I don't really know if this man has anything to do with your father's death. I kind of assumed that you might be really into it if you heard that. But let me try something a little different with you, Mr. Malachi. This man here is wealthy, quite wealthy, and seems to have some kind of clout in town. You know, we saw his journal. He's got some price fixing or whatever. I want to clean him out. Now, I'm not asking you to do anything too dangerous, but I'm going to introduce him myself as Mr. Croak. And let him know what I do, and maybe see if he can earn his trust as like a front or a fence for my items, and get to know him that way. I intended to introduce you as just no one in particular, but perhaps you accompany the Shadow of Shirebrook into his domain, and you are the wizard that helps me out. We can introduce ourselves together, earn his trust, and then we can learn what secrets he may have.
Well, it's an interesting offer. I actually scanned his shop just a couple of days ago with Detect Magic, and there's certainly some powerful items in there. So,
interesting.
If we're looking for someone to steal from, he's probably a good target. But I would worry that he is perhaps more powerful than your average shop owner.
This is why I want to take my time with him, right? I want to gather some information, you and me, learn about it.
Yeah.
If we can involve Van in small ways, perhaps that's best for safety. But I want to understand what we're doing, right? Before we get too involved. I want to make some friends with the gods. I have some young accomplices that are going to help me out with a distraction I have in mind a few weeks out. But in the interim of those few weeks, I would really like to get as much information as we can about Mr. Boren and however his protections are on the shop, and see what we can do to neutralize them.
Well, yeah, let's go. I mean, maybe if we tell him a somewhat honest story, we might be able to infiltrate him from the inside easier than from the outside.
I agree. I think I'll embellish a little bit. Have you that potion we took from the Siren still?
I think I have one.
Excellent. I don't intend to give it to him, but perhaps we may show it off and let him know that there's real value in what we do.
Sure. Do you want to take it? You're the showman.
Sure. I can do
All right.
that. Actually,
Hey,
yeah, sure. Why not?
I'll hand you the potion of vitality.
Okay, excellent. I'll give it back to you as soon as we're done with him, but
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So we're going to make our way to Boren's shop then. Actually, Malachi, do you want some Oakleys to try and hide your detect magic?
I think detect magic might be best saved for another day, Croak. I've already scanned the shop from the outside. Let's see what he's got to say, and if we do decide to rob him, then
All right.
I shall
If
prepare.
you can, take a look around the shop with me and see if you can't remember where that magic was coming from. Maybe we'll figure out something a little interesting. We can identify some stuff with your memory.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a shop where he's trying to sell things. So he's probably going to tell us which items are the most powerful and which are the most magical, if we ask.
That is potential. Yes. That could be something we could ask about. All right, let's get it on.
All right, let's go.
So we walk into the shop, or I guess walk to it. We know where it is, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
I know where it is, at least.
beautiful. So I want to walk in and then just kind of take a look around, see who's in it. And while I kind of walk around and pretend like I'm browsing the shelves of whatever he sells.
Sure. If you take a look at Roll20, here is Boren's shop.
Okay.
It's a pretty
Well,
simple.
I'm assuming those are like
layout.
shelves and things kind of lining it.
Yeah, so the full diagonal lines are tables. The
Okay.
dotted diagonal lines are like bookshelves. The horizontal lines is like the equivalent of a checkout counter. It's really just like a counter behind which is standing the employee that runs the place. The big black square in the middle is a column that holds up the second floor. That staircase in the back left is a staircase, and that is a door at the bottom center. There are no windows whatsoever.
So remind me about a few sessions back, if you can.
Mhm.
When we were talking with the widow, did we hear that he lived somewhere else or had bought this new, right? Am I
Right.
making stuff up if I think he lives here?
I don't think you're making anything up. I don't think you know for certain where he
Okay.
lives.
I thought I know who he bought it new, but I don't remember. Okay. Cool. So customers in right now?
There are a few customers in. By the door on the left side, when you're walking in, is a female dwarf. She is armed. Where is she? She is armed with splint mail, a steel battle axe, and a steel medium shield. She's about 3'4", and is kind of eyeing you suspiciously as you walk in. On the right side, behind that counter, is a human.
He looks like he's kind of a shop owner.
Yeah.
Okay. I give a big smile, like the winningest one I can to the dwarven lady, and kind of tip my non-existent hat and be like, "A good day to you, my dear. How are you?" And just kind of walk past and begin kind of going down this, I guess, left aisle here, making my way closer to the counter where Boren would be. And
Dale,
I
how
make
much? Sorry, Greg, go on.
Okay. I make a good show of looking at stuff on the counter and picking it up, and then kind of make loud conversation with Malachi, supposedly. Very one-sided conversation where I'm just dropping, "Sorry, Mr. Smith, have you heard the news? I heard some aggressive birds from the Shirebrook area have been landing in by the docks. Seems that they're aggressively taking the eggs from other nests around, putting them in their own. It
Oh
looks
my.
like they're having
That
quite
sounds awful.
Yeah, it is. It's quite awful. It seems that they're looking to roost around here.
Are they
It's been
dangerous?
quite interesting. And I keep extending that metaphor out as long as possible, and clearly dropping some thieves' cant to a potential. Hopefully, Boren might know that. that
This
I'm looking to...
guy behind the counter thinks you're talking about real birds and starts asking
yeah?
about their species and color and when did they come. Where can I find these birds? Are they beautiful? Are they dangerous? Or are they just, you know?
He says, "Oh, they are beautiful indeed, as beautiful as if Chiss carved them herself. But it turns out they are a little bit aggressive, dangerous creatures. They take what they want from the surroundings, and it seems like there's quite a problem on the docks. They roosting in there. It's awful." And I look to him and say, "Hey, you the owner here? I have some interesting. I've taken some interest in some of this stuff in here. I'd like to talk with somebody."
Oh, I'm not the owner, but I would be more than happy to show you around. Here, what are you in the market for? We have some wondrous items here at Borum's Emporium. Are you a chess playing man? We have a lovely ivory chess set in the back here. Let me show it to you. It's fantastic.
Sure, by all means.
Yeah, it comes from the Minotaur Island. I believe they call it Minotauria. Strange name.
Indeed.
My owner, or not my owner, my employer here says that these are actually made from Minotaur tusks, but as far as I'm concerned, Minotaurs don't have tusks. Maybe he meant horns. Anyway, here we go. Look at this beautiful ivory, he says, pointing to this lovely chess set. It's got a wood board that is made of bogwood and white oak in a checker pattern, and then 2 sets of ivory figures. One of them is red, and one of them is kind of a brownish color. Not very nice looking ivory, but, you know, Minotaur horns must be a little bit different.
I make a show of inspecting them and looking at them, and I say, "Oh, Mr. Smith, you like a good game of chess, do you not? Is this up your alley?"
It's an extremely lovely set. I do enjoy to play chess from time to time, yes. I'd imagine something like this rare though, must be worth a few gold coins, no?
A few, I'm sure.
Quite a few, yes.
Yes. Tell me, does your employer have a deed or something that identifies these as truly made of Minotaurian tusk?
No, I don't think so.
He has no
But you
way-
can trust me. When you come to Borum's Emporium, you get the quality that you pay for.
Well, I have no doubt about that, but you know, I wouldn't want to have something like this and have it turn out to be made of a lesser quality ivory by mistake. You know, I'm sure there are more things to come out of Minotauria than just my Minotaurs.
That's fair. That's fair. What about a set of mithril daggers?
I point to my broadsword and I say, "Well, you see, this is really more for show than anything. I'm not a fighting man. It turns out a big stick keeps a lot of people at bay, if you know what I mean."
A voice comes booming across the town saying, "Did you say mithril scimitar?"
I want to take a look at the mithril daggers, Neil. Can I say, do these come as a set, or would you purchase just one?
He takes you over and opens a steel box, and there are 5 mithril daggers hanging inside the box. He points to them and goes, "These can be sold individually or as a whole, whatever you please. There will be a slight discount if you buy all 5 of them, though. They come from the Dwarven lands to the... where are we? To the northeast, and are of the highest quality steel you can find. In fact, it's not even steel, it's mithril."
Right. Yes, and how much would one charge for a dagger such as this?
Mithril is...
How about we do a trade? No, I'm just joking.
Steel is 5 times. I think mithril is 15 times the normal cost for things.
would
Are
make
daggers like 1 gold?
Daggers are 2 gold. So a mithril dagger would be 30 gold.
That's actually not bad.
Okay.
Right, is it
I
15?
pull out my steel dagger. Neil, what's the in-game effect of mithril?
Mithril is to all metals what steel is to bronze. So if anyone's wearing any metal armor, you get a +1 to hit them.
Does that
Does it-
stack with the bronze? Like, do you get a +2 against bronze?
No.
and
Does that
No.
apply to leather?
It doesn't. I was thinking about having it apply to leather, but I haven't been 100% sure on it. I think mithril is +1 to hit all metals. Adamantium would be +1 against any armor.
Is
So,
it +1 against steel and then +2 against bronze, or just +1 against all metals?
Just a +1 against all metals.
Okay.
Is it like nicely engraved? Does it look fancy, or is it just a bog standard dagger that's made of mithril?
There's not a lot in terms of engravings, but they are very nice. You know, it's not just a dagger made out of mithril. It's an elegant dagger, but it doesn't have like carvings. It's just the flow to it is very nice.
Sorry. Well, I take out my steel dagger and say, like, perhaps we could trade this and make somewhat of a discount.
I don't think so. We don't really. Well, perhaps. What sort of trade were you thinking?
Or rather than...
Uh-oh. What'd you say?
You need to buy a dagger, Mr. Smith. I feel like this may be an unnecessary purchase.
I don't know, I think it's always wise to have weapons around, is it not?
That's fair.
Yeah, Neil, I'll just like sell him the iron dagger and buy the mithril one.
Okay. So...
I think the iron dagger I got was nicely engraved and I bought it for 15 gold.
Where are my unusual metals adjusters? Ooh, okay, I know they're in the monstrous manual. Hold on, I just need to double check that I have that price right.
What, 15 or 15
Yeah.
times?
15 times. I want to make sure that's the right price. Because silver
seem relatively
weapons are... We've said silver is 5 times the standard cost, right? When you
I
bought
don't
your
remember.
silver arrowheads?
Silver was.
I think steel was 5 and then silver was 10 actually. Let me double check. Let me see what the price was for the arrows because I know how
Okay.
much I spent for them.
Yeah, sorry, I think there's like a bit of a delay when I talk. It's kind of making it awkward to hold conversations.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Why can I not find my information about silver?
10 times the price was
For
what you
silver?
said. Yeah, I paid 5 gold for 10, so that'd be 10
Okay,
times the price.
so steel is 5 times, silver is 10 times. Okay, so mithril should actually be 3 times as expensive as silver. So it should be 5, 10, and 30. Let me write this down in a document so I do not forget.
Jesus. So it would be 60 gold.
Right.
Okay, wait. Then I've got a zircon gem worth 50 gold. I'll give him one of them and my iron dagger if he'll take the trade. Steel dagger, sorry.
Okay. Okay, so bronze is normal cost, steel is 5 times the cost. Silver is 10 times the cost, mithril is 30 times, adamantium is 500 times.
Okay.
I feel like
So it's
steel and... Are we sure steel and silver are separate? I thought they were both the same. I thought they were both 10 times.
I don't know what steel is.
Okay.
I think steel was 10 times.
Yeah, okay,
Steel is
so...
10 times. I
Good.
know steel.
Yeah.
Steel is 10 times.
Steel is
The
as much as
silver I don't know about.
Alright, so this dagger is 60 gold, and you want to trade your
I've got a
zircon
worth
gem...
50,
Mhm.
but I've got an iron dagger. Steel dagger, so I guess
Okay. Yeah.
that's a fair trade, yes?
So he takes a look at it, picks up the gem, looks through it, goes back to the counter, pulls out one of those little gem-looky magnifying glassy thingies. Takes a look at it again. You notice now, while he's doing this, that the room is very well lit, despite the fact that there are no windows whatsoever.
And Neil, so as this is going on, you remember I looked through the wall with detect magic last time.
Yes.
Is there any chance that I could roll an intelligence check to try and maybe guess as to what the powerful magic items that were in here were?
The
No,
powerful
no,
magical
sounds just
items you would notice were all upstairs on the second floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, there's continuous light in a room with no windows and no torches,
Yes.
and there's no magic items down here.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, at least none that you're aware of currently. So he hands the gem back to you after examining it, and takes the dagger, turns it over in his fingers a few times, and says, "I think, good sir, we have a deal."
Perfect. I've always wanted a mithril weapon. I have a friend of mine who's a fighter. He'll be furious.
Well, that's what we strive to do, make our friends jealous, right?
Exactly.
He goes back and grabs one of the daggers, brings it over to you with its nice, beautiful sheath, sets it on the counter, and takes the gem from you, and the deal is done.
Perfect. Awesome.
Well, that is an excellent deal to whet our appetites here. As I was saying, is there a chance we could perhaps meet with your employer, Mr. Boren? It seems there may be more business we could do together. I would like to have the opportunity to chat with him.
My employer is a very busy man. I would be happy to assist you in any purchases that you have to make, though. Are you still looking for something else? We have...
Oh, I have a fine eye for the fineries. You see, I travel in and out myself from town. Many people, I'm sure, do around here. A bit of a traveling trader, me and Mr. Smith are. I have some rather fine goods that I would wonder if they interest Mr. Boren. And I also would be very interested in some of these. I see you have some... I just point to something that's kind of in bulk. Whatever that may be.
Coffee beans.
Excellent. I see you have some real nice looking coffee beans over here that perhaps would sell very well on my next stop. You have some fine goods here, and I have some goods myself. Perhaps an accord could be struck between the two of us. Is there a way that I could schedule to meet Mr. Bowen?
What sort of goods do you have for sale?
Let's see. I don't want too many rumors running around this here town, but I can assure you they will interest him. Many of them tend to be a bit obscure and hard to find, written on paper and jarred in vials, if you know what I mean.
I see. Well, if you can leave me with a list of items that you can acquire or have to sell on hand, I would be happy to show it to Mr. Boren and see what he has to say. Unfortunately, he is very busy and cannot come down to deal with customers on a face-to-face basis.
I see. Well, let me go and take a good accounting, I suppose. Mr. Malachi, or Mr. Smith, you can write these things down for him, I'm sure. Make sure to include all of the very interesting items that Mr. Bourne could enjoy, and just let him know. And we'll be back here with this man. And please, I will come by tomorrow, perhaps, have a chat with him.
If you leave the information here, I will get it to him as quickly as possible.
Okay. Mr. Malachi, please make a list of all the wondrous and interesting things that we may have for Mr. Boren.
I shall bring a list shortly. I'll need time to review our inventory.
Okay. All right. I'll tip my non-existent hat once again at the person and say, well, I hope that I can be back and be doing fine business with you again, sir. And then I give another winning smile, the best I can, to the dwarf on the way out. And I begin walking around the building, kind of investigating it once I get to the outside.
All right. Well, when we leave, then I'll tell you that I think that all of the magical items are upstairs. And also, from what the attendant said, he seemed to suggest that Borin was upstairs. He said he doesn't have time to come down for every customer.
I do get that feeling. I did leave quite an impression in there, I believe. We threw some money around a gemstone, to be quite honest, and I let him know that there was some interesting people here looking for him. That should get his attention. But if you would just make up a list of just kind of interesting, crazy things we might have to sell. Ooh, actually, is Neil, is Thieves' Cant like able to be written?
Yeah, Thieves' Cant is really just a slang that people use.
Yeah. All right, so we're totally going to leave a list of items that look really expensive and awesome to like a layman, but are clearly like, hey, this is a thief that wants to talk with you. And hopefully he's a thief, and maybe he's a fighter or a wizard, and that doesn't work, but I'm going to try it.
Okay,
So
so I guess I'll let you write the
I
list.
tell Malachi like the list to write down.
Okay.
That's just, I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Diamond scale. Oh my goodness.
Did your
Hang on,
power
I'm
go
gonna turn the
out?
light back on. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There we go.
Woo.
That was weird. Why did that happen? There was no one behind me, was there?
I heard a light switch flip. A click.
Oh, maybe it's one of my friends. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
So anyway, I tell Malachi the list to write, and then I want to kind of walk around the building looking for windows. You can't have a windowless place. You would want to at least look out in the street or let a breeze through, right? So maybe there's windows upstairs.
You notice
maybe
in the
boarded up.
front of the shop on the second story there is a pair of windows.
Okay.
There's no shutters and it's thick plate glass. When you walk around the rest of the building, you see no other windows anywhere. Although you can see places where there once were windows. There's actually quite a few places where that used to have windows that have since been boarded up, but in like a nice, tasteful way that doesn't make it look ugly. Boarded up and redecorated.
Does that look recent, or does that look like it was done a long time ago?
It looks more recent,
Okay, so
probably within the last couple of years.
okay. We think he got this relatively newly, so he might have done that. That makes me think more like.
I don't know, mate. It wasn't anyone doing it. It was just.
And then
It's just magic.
magic. Is there the roof? How does that look? What's the roof made out of?
Tile.
Tile, slanted, sloped, flat.
Curved Spanish tile on a sloped roof.
Okay. Any evidence of what could be an attic or cellar?
No.
No, none at all. Okay. I take.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh god, I haven't heard a single thing Croak said. I've been too busy watching Nick just try to figure out what's going on with the lights. It's like every time they go off, just the.
Yeah, don't just ignore me, I guess.
Did anyone happen to die in that place that you're staying a couple years ago, Nick? I mean, you're by a lake.
So
Seems like a place
There are
kids would
well
go.
nearby.
I mean, your friends aren't missing, right? They're still there.
There's no like holiday,
Maybe.
is there?
No?
All right.
No, it is pretty creepy though. Like, it is in the middle of nowhere. But I checked. I don't think it's any of my friends doing it. I don't know. Maybe it's like an automatic sensor. Like maybe it's gonna keep moving or something to keep the lights on. I'll just like randomly move.
Okay. Where were we? I'm sorry, we got lost.
I was examining the building from the
Right,
outside.
right.
That's good. In terms of alleys, what are the alleys like next to it?
There's an alley on either side, and the back of the shop doesn't quite abut the wall. So if the dock is kind of on a lower platform that's been carved and made flat, and then there's a bit of a wall, like an 8-foot wall that goes up to the rest of the town, and there's a set of stairs that leads up to that. So this shop is almost all the way to the back of that wall. There's a narrow alleyway that allows you to walk through, and then this shop has very narrow spaces between it and the buildings to its left and right. Like you
Narrow
can walk.
and potentially dark.
Yeah, you can walk, but if your shoulders might scrape, you could, in theory, penguin walk your way down without bumping in either side of the building, but they're narrow alleyways.
Cool.
And they have some refuse and things in them. You know, there's like a dead dog lying in the back of one of them.
Okay. Okay. So neglected, not locked down a lot, not used a lot, dark.
Yes.
Good. Okay. I turn around to Malachi and I give him a list of things like powdered dragon teeth and other roguey things that'll look expensive but catch the eye of a rogue if he happens to see it. I tell him, well, I guess we'll try to come back tomorrow and speak with Boren himself. That was a bit unfortunate that the shop owner does not do business himself. I could see a rich man not liking that too much, but I don't do well as a noble. I tend to impersonate the common folk a little more. So I'll give you this potion back. Let's meet again. Let's meet again tomorrow here. See if we can't get a meeting with Mr. Boren. And
Well,
I'm gonna spend some time. Sorry, go for it.
I'll drop this list off now so you can have a chance to talk to Boren, and then he kind of indicated the sooner we could give him the list, the sooner he could arrange a meeting.
Excellent. Yeah, if you could write that up for me, that would be wonderful. Let him know. I'm going to spend some time getting to know the area here, and I'll let you go off and do your studying. I know that it's important for you to get many hours into that book, so I won't take more time.
Indeed. All right, well, wait here 5 minutes. I'll walk back with you to the end, and I head back into the shop, call over the attendant, and say, here I have this list. If Boren would care to speak with us, we'll return tomorrow.
Will do.
Hand him the list and walk out.
All right. I think we're about at our breaking point anyway, so why don't we take a break, and when we come back, we'll see what other things you guys can get into, and we'll catch up with Van Helsing, who has been doing...
I have just been shirtless montaging my measurements with the blacksmith.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Bye-bye.